We wrap up our Halloween Horror Nights coverage by covering the Scarezones, shows, and everything else on episode 378 of the Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Hello everyone, it is Lee. I am excited to carry on our Halloween Horror Nights coverage because I could talk about it forever. So joining me is Tracy.
Hello!
And Darren.
What's up, Internet?
And Chris.
What's up, guys?
I just want to talk about Horror Nights till the next one begins.
That's a lot of talking.
Because this is the first time we've actually done 2 Horror Nights back to back.
Yep.
And as we know, next year is going to be a big year.
Yeah.
Cannot wait.
Yes. Exciting.
Hopefully you can get some pizza fries next year.
Yep.
I am determined that when we come out next time that I get this time difference stomach thing down so I can start eating and actually enjoying more than just the theme parks at this point.
Well, I don't want to bring your hopes up too much, but there is an opportunity, possibly, that you can get your pizza fries when you come down in February.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ah, you said they had them at Mardi Gras, didn't they?
Well, we'll just have to do it both times and compare them.
Right?
What's better? Mardi Gras pizza fries? Halloween pizza fries?
Stay tuned.
Does fear make them taste better?
I don't know because there'll be no fear either way.
Fear just makes them go through you faster.
Speaking of fear,
Yeah.
before we get on to the rest of the event, we have some house chat to get over. So I reached out to our listeners via social media and asked them to send in their top 10 lists for the houses this year. And normally we get like 3 or 4. We got about 50 or 60, I think, at this
Wow.
point. So this is a pretty definitive list. I collated all those numbers together.
You did?
And we have the Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast host and listeners top 10 house list from 10 to 1 for Halloween Horror Nights 29.
So if I made it up, would it be the unofficial Universal
Yes.
Orlando podcast top 10?
So, Chris, would you like to start us off with the number 10 house?
Yes. Unfortunately, it's number 10, but it is what it is. Us.
Whoa.
Tracy?
Number 9 is Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I expect that down here. Number 8, Nightingale's Blood Pit.
But there was
What?
only... So, collating all this did, I think there was
What's my number
only
3?
me and Tracy liked this house.
I loved it.
Chris!
Yes.
You're number 1.
Again, another shot through the heart here. Depths of fear.
At number 7. Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
Although I have had a conversation with Alexa and she was kind of there with you, Chris, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least I picked the right one.
I think she was about number 3. I think she had it at.
Number 6 is Ghostbusters.
Wow.
It's about where we all had it.
Yeah.
Number 5. I'm still surprised overall, though.
Mhm.
Surprised me. Huh. Number 5, Killer Clowns.
I'm out.
Sorry. Mhm.
Needs to be higher.
Oh.
So make your unofficial one.
Chris, switch this and number 1 around.
Gotcha.
No.
Number 4, House of a Thousand Corpses.
You are also wrong.
Number 3 is Yeti Terror of the Yukon.
Boo.
Oh, that hurts.
Boo.
Surprised Lee didn't just put that at number 1 just because.
I could have
You
done.
could have done, couldn't you? An unofficial
I wanted it
Universal
to be
Orlando
real.
podcast.
I didn't want to sway anything. It was quite interesting going because like the people's lists were all over the place.
Yeah.
And it shows you how good a year it was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Number 2 was Graveyard Games.
And much to my chagrin, number 1 was Universal Monsters.
The people have spoken.
Well, they have. I can't
Yes.
argue with that list.
They have.
Yes,
The thing is, as we've said over the previous shows, it was such a strong year. It was unfortunate. Things just had to be placed in an order. And it didn't necessarily mean it was a bad house or anything like that. It was just all good and we had to do orders because we have to do things like that.
There was quite a jump between first and second, and then between second and third was a massive gap as well. It was quite surprising that the top 2 really were quite ahead of the others.
Really?
and Us was like way out at the bottom.
Wow.
Poor us.
Yeah, we say that all the time.
You guys just didn't get it. You don't understand.
I think the biggest thing for us was that you needed to catch it right,
Yeah.
and if you didn't, it was awful.
100%. 100%. And
That's true. I had
I mean,
a
a
lot
lot
of
of the
better
houses are like that too, I think.
Yeah, but I think a lot of them you can get. Like, I think you could go through something like Yeti and miss a lot of the scares and still
It's
have
stunning.
a decent experience in it, whereas us was a little just like,
Although us did potentially have the best kill
Yeah.
of.
second. It had the second best one.
Well, yeah, but okay, it had a top 3 kill,
Oh, second.
but I enjoyed that. What? Staring at me.
Right,
Sorry,
so that's house is done. We've done that now.
Yeah.
I think we've killed them to death at this point. So we haven't really talked about the scare zones since we sort of did our initial conversation about them, how we expected to rank them. I don't think we're going to rank them at this point because I don't think it really matters. But so we're just going to go through each of the houses. I'm obsessed.
You are.
Just want to talk about scare zones. So the first one we had, which actually ended up being scare zone of the year, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Was at the front of the park, Darren, and that was?
That was an arcade.
Did we miss something?
I can tell you why.
Go on.
It's Instagram worthy.
Yeah, there is that.
I think
Everybody and anybody took a picture in front of that arcade and posted it up online. And I think that's what made it
Maybe,
number one.
I think the thing is, it's an in-house thing, isn't it? The house, because the house of the year was House of a Thousand Corpses, and the scare zone was an arcade. And it's not like a people's vote. It's it comes down to things like how many people they push through per night or per hour or whatever, and like safety thing, and it's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that gets the accolade.
How many people
Could have
are
been the
pushed
most
through?
tracked
It's
on Instagram as well.
street.
Who knows?
No,
Yeah.
but I'm talking about the house specifically. At that
the
point.
house.
Oh,
That
the
point.
house.
Sorry, I was going to say because with the scare zones, it couldn't really push people through.
No,
No.
Cheating. That's at the front of the park.
it didn't do it for me.
I'll be honest. Some of the photographs I've seen are stunning.
Exactly. That's exactly what Chris is pointing out.
But
that
walking through, nothing really made me want to stop and loiter. There wasn't set pieces or anything.
Mm-hmm.
It was visually pretty.
It
That's
was.
about it.
And it was nostalgic as well because it was like right back in my childhood.
but we
And
never
it was
saw
kind
know.
of cool seeing like that 8-bit pixelated
Yeah.
Halloween Horror Nights video game.
It was a bit
It
drawn.
made you want to play that didn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a showcase for the lighting crew, and they did a really good job with it.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was really evident if you went there during the day because there was nothing going on in there during the day.
It's
It was
Stroller Park,
really-
isn't it?
Yeah,
During the
really
day.
bad to look. Yeah, well, I mean, like when it's still light out during
right,
horror
yeah.
nights. So it was like, like without their lights on, it was a really boring scare zone
Yeah.
to go through.
Yeah.
So
Good point.
And I suppose we did stand screams. We never came in through the arches to go through it. And then we just left it. At that point, the park was closed, so there was virtually nobody about. So I think maybe
I don't actually
because we
remember
didn't-
walking through it
we didn't
during
need
the
to-
night.
because it's out the way, you don't need to go to it to get to anything else.
yeah,
It's either as you're coming in or you're leaving. So I think it was a missed opportunity for.
The front
Yeah,
one's
that-
always an awkward one.
Yeah.
yeah, that and Vanity Ball actually suffer from that now.
Yeah.
Like with I mean, you come in, I mean, you can go to Killer Clowns, but we found ourselves just not hitting Vanity Ball much. So.
No, we didn't
Same.
either.
We did it once, and I had really high expectations for it, and it was just kind of meh.
Mm.
It's one of them ones, I think. Anyway, we're not talking about that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
we'll
no,
get
yeah.
onto
Get to
that
that
one. Yeah, it didn't do it for me, but it was pretty.
It's okay for its placement. I'm surprised that it got Scare Zone of the
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. I mean,
But
it's
I'll
one of
say-
the better ones in its placement too. I think.
Yeah, definitely. But I'll say, all in all, this year, I mean, like no Scare Zones were like scary or anything.
No, but then Darren,
That's not what they were about.
let's be honest, we could say none of the houses were scary either.
That's true.
It comes down to you as an
you're
individual,
dead
and we're four
inside.
people who are all dead
Dead
inside.
inside.
Yeah. But I mean, that's what I'm seeing, like, as it like the overall sentiment of visitors, park guests. I don't know. I see a lot of the pass holder group and other things like that. But
Yeah,
I was for the most part, and I agree. Like even like the subjects of them, the only one that's like even slightly scary is the Viking one. But everybody seemed to try to be more menacing in that. But okay, we're not talking about that one either. Sorry.
It's difficult actually to do them one at a time because
Yeah.
it does end up with an overarching conversation, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like overall, it's just like there was like a lot of funny ones, a lot of this one that was like everybody was just trying to be cool and in arcade is how I felt about this one specifically. Like all the scare actors were trying to look cool, even with the chainsaws. It's like look at me, but like I'm not gonna really scare you.
But I think I think the scare zones have suffered because of how much, and I don't think it's anything to do with Universal specifically. It's more the generation of people now. They've become selfie zones, and I think that Universal have kind of gone, that's what people treat them like, let's give them more of that.
Yeah.
Why not like it makes it easier for the actors because then they know that that's what's expected of them rather than people trying to and getting off because they're not posing for them.
But also, what do people do with the selfies? They post them all over social media and hashtag the hell out of them, so it's free promotion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's actually very savvy. It's good business sense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just wish I wasn't so self-conscious and could actually take selfies. But
Again, so
I might buy a selfie stick.
No, you won't because you're not allowed to take them in. It's gimbals now, apparently.
All right.
So next up, moving into New York, Tracy, we had
Zombieland Double Tap. I loved this one.
It's my favorite.
This was a fun one.
It was awesome. Come on,
this
Chris.
is where I got a scare.
Chris, you had the best interaction in any scare zone.
Yeah. So the scare zone was like, it was good. And then this interaction happened. And I was like, this is the best scare zone ever. Where I'm just walking down the street and Bill Murray, his character, Bill Burry, right? Or
Bill Burry.
Yeah. He's there walking down. And I was like, I got to get a picture with this guy. And I go up to him like, hey, Bill, can I get a picture of you real quick? And he's doing his little thing. And he just looks at me and he goes, yeah, but keep on walking so they don't know that we're not dead. And this stating character took a picture of me. I'm like, thanks. He goes, yeah, you're welcome. Just walks away. It was the best interaction with a scare actor I've had in a long time. It was awesome.
Yeah.
He was so good. We saw him
Nina
doing
and
so
Alexa.
much. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Great one with them too. Yeah.
That was hilarious. And also just watching them doing their thing.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, he's just like showing them the ropes on how to like act like a zombie, and then they tried it out on a couple of them. So
I didn't see that.
Yeah, you don't have this video of it. Oh, it's not this video of it.
we got
so good.
Yeah,
awesome.
a long video of it.
It's like when he was walking behind Rich Hour 2 guide in the RIP with his golf club up, like mimicking him. That was awesome.
So funny. It was
Yeah.
so funny. But yeah, the only scare zone I actually got a scare in and actually leapt about 5 foot sideways.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Which was, I was so pleased because I thought I wasn't capable of being scared anymore. And also, that's where
Our two interactions, with Matt and Connor.
Yep. That was nice.
I got a scare
Connor.
because I was convinced it was Darren stood next to me, walking along with me. But it wasn't. And I don't know how long he'd been walking along beside me, this scare actor, and then eventually just thought, he's not even going to look, so I'm just going to... But I was convinced it was Darren to my right-hand side, and he sort of just... And I was like, oh, you... I don't get scared.
Dedicated in that scare zone, like you mentioned, because you would see them follow somebody as far as they can in like their zone that they're allowed to be in, and they'll sometimes just give up on the person because they didn't turn around or do something, but they'll follow you the entire way through.
Yeah.
I think the showpieces let it down. The zombie kill of the month thing that we've seen a couple of times just seems to be the same thing.
And kind of weak, as far as it goes.
And the hut.
That's not bad, but
Didn't
again, it
really
is
get to
what it
see
is.
that.
Yeah, we've seen a lot more of it in videos after the event.
Yeah. I think it's easy to see it that way because actually when there's a horde of zombies around it, you can't really see it. That's what I found.
Yeah. The toilets were cool.
Yes.
Oh, so funny.
good. Yeah, they were brilliant.
That was interesting. I bet you that was fun to work as a scare actor too.
Yeah.
And then you could like you open one of them and it's like, a dead person. The other one like shot water out of its crotch area. And then the other one had a real person in there, and that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a video someone posted, I don't know whether it was on Instagram or Facebook the day where they got like the friend, it was a girl, to go in and she literally fell on the floor as this scare actor came out at her.
Oh yeah, and they were like running out of there.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised. I wonder if they hit anybody with the door on that thing.
Oh, wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah. I thought I was going to get hit with a frying pan in there a few times by
Oh.
that one scare actor. She got real close. And then the other really cool thing was the actual prop kind of thing from a movie, a vehicle.
Yes.
Oh,
the
yeah.
presidential limo from the new movie.
Yeah. Yeah. It's probably the scare zone we spent the most time in.
Quite probably, yeah.
Because I think the two you're going to spend the most time in is San Francisco and New York, because
Yeah.
you think you've got
It's quite a
like
crossover
Us
point,
and
isn't it? So,
Yeti
yeah.
and Ghostbusters and Stranger Things all there, and then you're going to go around to the other side, and the obvious way is to go through New York, through San Francisco, out
Yeah.
to where Academy of Villains is, A
Yeah.
House of a Thousand Corpses, Depths of Fear, Monsters and Graveyard Games. That's the thoroughfare through from
Yeah.
where all the houses are, really.
Yeah.
So you're kind of forced in that direction. Whereas, like we've already said, with Vanity Ball and an arcade, there isn't a natural path to them. Clowns, like going through to Clowns through Vanity Ball is probably the only one you've got.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
strange.
We're good.
But it's the footprint they've got. They've got to work with what they've got.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, the hands are tied to a degree.
So speaking of the San Francisco one, in there we would find, Chris?
Rob Zombie's Hellbilly Deluxe.
I wanted to say House of a Thousand Corpses, and when you said Hellbilly, I was like, that's not right. Oh, no, it is right, isn't it?
Oh,
Pretty
it's
much.
so much fun, this
Oh,
one.
it really was.
Great sound. Yeah.
Yeah, they did a great job of like just embodying an album in a zone.
Yeah.
Like bringing it to life. They did a really awesome job with it.
Again, not scary, but just a hell of a lot of fun.
I actually think with something like this, they need to make it a bit bigger. And obviously, they have the area into Fast and Furious, or the exit from Fast and Furious behind. I actually think they could turn that into a dance floor. When they're doing something like this, turn it into a dance floor, because people were dancing there, and I think they'd enjoy that. I would.
A lot of people were dancing by the car with the robot.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh
Oh,
yeah,
that was awesome.
MVP of Horror Nights this year.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It was. Oh, it was so much fun. Visually amazing.
We were watching View from the Cheap Seats
Yeah.
from the end that they closed out Horror
they
Nights
did.
there, and it was awesome because all the scare actors, like, you could see how much working in that scare zone meant to them.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
And something else that I just think it's kind of, separate from all this, but it's really interesting to me how, we think of scare zones as, movies or video games, but this is the first time they use an album as a scare zone, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think so.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
creative to me. And just really cool that they brought it to life, the entire album, and it just fits perfectly with that event. Now it just gets the brain kind of thinking, what other
else
albums
can
are
we
out
do?
there
Yeah.
we can do? That would be just as good, if not better than this.
Because Blake was telling us, wasn't it, that it was Mike Aiello's idea. He just chucked the CD at him and went, make a scare zone out of that. And he was like, oh, okay.
Lots of
Pretty
scary
much,
albums
yeah.
in the 70s, I can tell you.
Yeah, but that one just has the music videos and everything
Yeah.
just had such a great visual quality to
Yeah.
it. It'd be very hard to come up with another one just like based on an album like
Yeah.
that, I think.
I agree.
It'd be interesting, actually, to...
Not Meatloaf.
Oh, God, no.
So I have no idea.
See,
Just has to come out
Avatar,
with another album.
like the metal band that I like, the Swedish metal band Avatar, they've got quite a theatrical style. I think
Yeah.
that they would potentially work. If you watch a lot of their music videos, it's
It would
kind
work,
of
yeah.
got that Hellbilly Deluxe vibe about it, actually.
Oh yeah.
It would have to be a metal album.
Oh,
But it
yeah.
also has to be something, I think, as identifiable as this album.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because even people that don't listen to like rock or metal know at least one song out
Yeah.
of here.
I
Like,
didn't.
these were iconic songs. Really?
Until it got announced as part of Horror Nights this year, I had not heard a single one of those songs.
What?
I know. I tried.
know.
I tried.
And being such a metalhead as well, it's so bizarre. I love that album now. I've done nothing but listen to it from the day it was announced to still now. I'm still listening to it constantly at work now.
Yeah.
I know.
It was an album I grew up just playing video games with in the background, just going.
One of the first metal concerts I ever went to, so It was really cool
Cool.
to see
So it
it.
was
again.
right up Darren's alley.
Yep, definitely.
So continuing round into Central Park, we'll go at this point. And Darren, that would bring us to?
That is Vikings Undead.
Always the most beautiful scare zone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was incredibly atmospheric.
I'm
Yeah.
disappointed I didn't spend more time there because this is the one I was really looking forward
And it was
to.
really good. We just, again, like you say, we made the mistake of doing exactly what we said we weren't going to do. And that's just hitting houses.
Yeah. Get overexcited. So this is the one that really I wanted to take the camera in and just loiter and photograph the hell out of.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't.
Yeah. And some really cool big set pieces in here.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Lee's very worried now.
And sound design wise, it was awesome as well.
Oh, yeah.
Why are you worried, dear?
Because you're going to split my back open and pull my lungs out my back.
That was a really cool.
What's it called?
Very slowly.
I can't remember. Angel. Something angel.
The Blood Eagle.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes.
I was close.
Yes. And I know how to do that.
Tracy remembers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's one of my favourite things ever.
But it's like I know from, again, talking to Blake, that all the music that was created for that scare zone was all created in-house.
Mm-hmm.
One of the creative team members is of Norwegian descent. And I think it was his son that did it in the end. Because like, if you go on, Chris, you and I talked about with Horror Nights Nightmares, the forum with all the music on there, that's the only scare zone or house that's like, it was all created in-house, so you can't find it anywhere. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, they
The
really,
soundtrack was amazing to see all over the park. But yeah, Vikings was also was great.
They need to start releasing the soundtracks.
they should do.
They would make a fortune.
They really would.
But it's probably a licensing thing for some of the things.
Probably.
Yeah.
A lot of the music that they played was just other artists, but it would be an
Yes.
awesome compilation to have, or you can just go on Spotify and, for the most part, have them there.
Yeah.
So wrapping up the official scare zones into Hollywood, Tracy, we would find ourselves in...
Vanity Ball.
I think we've already said about as much of this as we can.
Didn't
Yeah.
see a lot of it.
At all.
Did not. Yeah. Didn't get back there as much as I'd like to.
No.
I think it's 10 houses, man. It's like
Yeah.
It's a lot.
feeling like you have to get through all your 10 houses every night, then you're gonna not go to these ones as
Yeah.
much at all, if at all.
I'm gonna preface or sort of go against that a little bit, because I know there was only one house difference, but when we were at Halloween Horror Nights 25, this is the scare zone we probably spent the most amount of time
yeah.
in.
But it
Because there was a reason for it.
Yeah, it was a
Possibly, yes.
It was 4 shows.
4 or 5. What was it? The storyteller, the usher, the caretaker,
Director.
and the director.
Yeah.
Is there another one?
I thought there was only 4.
Yeah.
You know, each one was a show to watch.
Well, so was this, really. From
was a
what we've
catwalk.
seen afterwards. Yeah, but there
I
was...
know.
It's one the more I've seen about it in videos having come back that I think there was more going on than I realised.
There always is.
You need to spend
I will
time.
say the makeup was really, really good.
Yes.
Like
That's
we did
what I've
have
seen
a couple
afterwards.
pictures up close. We did some selfies, and some of them was really gruesome and well done. Yeah.
But I think
a lot of really cool ideas.
Yeah, I think Darren's right. It's that thing. If you're never going to get that full experience just passing through it. Which when you're trying to get through houses as much as you can, that's all you're going to do. To get the most out of them, you've got to spend 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever, an hour in it.
Yeah. Was Vanity Ball one of these that progressively got gorier and gorier as the night went on? Were they getting people that were just walking around needing the plastic surgery, and then they went in and were coming out? Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. You went through it the same amount of
No,
time.
but that's what I'm asking. Do we know this about it? Is it one where by the end of the night everybody was grotesque?
Possibly.
So it's something you had to go through multiple times to keep seeing the progression of everything going on.
They did that. What was the one that was was it 21? Was it the 7 Deadly Sins one? I can't remember what it's called now.
Yeah.
When it started off, they were all like
Lady
proper
Luck, something
models, and then as the night went on, they got more gruesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So maybe we have
Yeah.
missed a trick there with that one.
It's difficult though.
I think what threw off the balance, especially this year compared to like 25 and this year compared to last year too, is not having maybe the Despicable Me entrance there to a house. So missing out on like that house in the front there. So not having the
maybe.
balance.
Is there normally one there?
Yeah, at the entrance to Despicable Me, you usually go around the side there and go around like through the behind Rip Ride Rocket queue and go down the long line where Jack's 25 years house was last year.
I have no idea.
Well, not last year, but
I know what you
I wish it
mean.
was last. Well, no, I wouldn't have seen it then. Yeah, it's difficult. It, like I say, because of where the main houses were this year, you were always going to get funneled through Zombieland and you've got to make the effort to go to the other ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially if you do stay in screen.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not going through an arcade at all. Well, we probably didn't, other than
So you leave, yeah.
yeah, pretty much. I think that was
the only time we went through it.
Probably was the only time we went through an arcade was to leave the park at like 2:00 in the morning.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we also had roaming around certain areas, Chris.
The roaming hordes in Springfield.
Were they
And
only
that is
in
hordes,
Springfield?
not something else.
Whores, the roaming whores in Springfield.
That's
There
an
were a few
extra
of them
ticket
there.
price.
I don't actually remember really seeing an awful lot of them about either.
Oh,
to
they were
be
good.
honest.
They were good.
It was weird this year. I feel like there were either less or we just didn't spend any time there.
Do you not
They
remember
had
them having the huddle?
LED masks.
Yes.
They had the huddle. That was awesome. That was really creepy.
It's still never as good as 25 with all the clowns in there.
Oh, that was so good.
2 years ago, was it last year, Darren, or the year before with the clown masks? I think it was last year, right?
Yeah,
They've done
they've
clowns a
last
few
year. They've done
times.
clowns there quite a few times.
Yeah, they did it 25.
It just fits in with the area, the Midway thing.
It's pretty good. They had some creepy masks last year, but I don't know.
This was clowns too. It was just LED clown masks.
See, I didn't spend enough time in there.
No,
And normally,
LED chainsaws.
yeah, me and Alexa will stay there sometimes for like 30 minutes just watching them because they're really good at scaring people.
Yeah.
But yeah, we missed out.
I think because people walk into Springfield and it's not themed to Halloween Horror Nights, the guard gets let down a little bit.
Yeah.
So, having discussed all the scare zones, I have a question. And I've already posed this to you already.
Oh, was I listening?
So, for the past 2 years, not like 28 and 27, we saw, let me get this right, 27 was Trick or Treat into a house at 28, and then a scare zone of killer clowns at 28 that made it into a house at 29. If they were to go down the same route and use a scare zone from this year, which scare zone do you three think would make the best house?
It can be anyone. Doesn't have to be like IP or okay.
Any one of those scare zones.
I'm gonna say Vanity Ball to me. And that would make a really interesting house and concept.
Okay.
I had my answer, and now I've suddenly gone, oh, hang on a minute.
If we're gonna go based off of history, it'd probably be Zombieland.
That's where I was. Since you've asked me, that's where I was going with.
Yeah, not that I want it to be, because I don't know if it'd make a good house.
However, I want to see Vikings expanded because I didn't get to spend enough time, so I wanted Vikings house.
For me, I think Vikings is the one that's probably best suited to go into a house because it'll be very similar vibe to Nightingales this year, I think. And I love Nightingales.
You can be in a longboat and all sorts.
Yeah, because
you guys were the only two, remember.
That's good. I like going through the houses when there's nobody else there.
I think atmosphere-wise, it would in a close quarters house, it would be stunning.
Let me sell Vanity Ball on you with 2 words. Body collectors.
Okay.
Body collectors, Vanity Ball.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be up for that.
I'm thinking of the room where the guy had the big walkway where he could walk back and forth, and it was kind of like a circular room.
Yes.
And you had to kind of walk down and around the walkway and out. That could be like your stage, your runway that they were doing things on. But just to have like your whole room set up like that, and you got to walk around the runway while they're putting their show on, and then you've got your fake dummy scares in the audience, that kind of stuff, real people. I think it'd be pretty cool. I think it'd be fun.
Even at the house, like the beginning can be those little rooms they had around Vanity Ball,
Yes.
where they're doing the surgery on people and getting them to look pretty, and then your ending of the house is kind of that runway,
Yeah,
like a build-up.
you're going through. Yeah,
Right, will you stop shaking your head and say what's...
Nope. I think you underestimate how much I like Vikings. The fact is that Vikings is based on reality.
Yeah.
And that is scary.
I
He just wants the blood eagle.
I really do.
I genuinely
Interactive, please.
don't believe that we'll see one. I think it was obvious that Trick or Treat was a proof of concept. It's like, look, this is what we can do with it. Give us a house. And I think the same with Killer Clowns last year. So I don't think there's one this year that's been put out there with the same mindset in it that we wanted. This is what we can do with it. Will you let us do a house next year? I don't think there is one there this year, really.
Nah, I don't think
Probably
so
not,
either.
No.
But it's nice to dream.
Yep.
With 30 years of content to go back on.
Yeah.
I can't see them using any of
exactly.
these ones.
Cool. Right. Well, we'll take a quick break and then we'll be back to talk about the shows and the food. Three of us might be talking about the food. I won't be.
The holidays are here, guys, and whether you're a Grinch or Cindy Lou Who, doesn't matter. It doesn't change the fact that it's time to start thinking about what to give your loved ones this year. Reach out to us at mouseandmuggle.com where you can fill out a no-obligation quote request. And remember, at Mouse and Muggle Travel Company, our goal isn't to sell you things, it's to help you make memories. So let our team of experts help you plan your next big adventure.
Welcome back, everyone. As I said, we are going to continue talking about Halloween Horror Nights and we will move on to the two shows. And first up, Chris.
Academy of Villains Altered States. Awesome show.
We're just going to gush over the next two shows, aren't we?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I cannot put into words how good that was. I never go online and watch videos. Never. I haven't stopped watching videos of Academy of Villains since we got home.
Really?
Really.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We did that when we saw them like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We just started watching all their dance competitions.
Yeah. I'm stalking them everywhere. I'm going through their friends list. Who do I not have on my friends list?
I've got quite a few
Yeah.
of them at this point.
Well, then you start matching them up to the videos with the makeup, and you're like, Who is this one? Oh, yeah, that's who that is. Wow, hey. And then you notice, hey, that's the one. They've been in the show since last year and the year before that.
Yeah.
It's the same guy. It's like, oh, it's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, their first show was that they did 4 years ago. I thought it was their best for a while because it was amazing. I loved it.
Yeah.
And then with the second show, we didn't get to have that one because of the hurricane.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So we had the ground
Last
show.
year it was different, right? You had a bunch of stuff going on, but it didn't have a real continuous story the way this one had this year. And when they came out with this year's the story, the inner, like the way everything intertwines, the use of set pieces and everything, I think they killed it.
Absolutely.
It was so good to watch.
There was just so much to see on stage and on the three stages as well. Oh, it's just
Like I still sing in my head that master.
Oh, yeah, I've got that on.
Far side jumping out.
Yeah.
But even little things like the rigging was AOV.
Yeah.
I thought that was so cool. Took photos of that.
So I came at this from a point of view where I wasn't really interested in it at all. So I'm not really dance things.
No, we always
just don't
turn over
do it.
when they
But
come
we'll
on,
go and
don't we?
see it because everyone says it's incredible. So the first night we saw it on Thursday night, didn't we,
Yes.
with Maddie?
We did.
And Maddie's pretty much the Academy of Villains Halloween Horror Nights official photographer
Yeah,
at this
just
point.
about.
Like, she
Yeah.
knows them all anyway, and it's like... And it was funny because she didn't watch the show. She watched us watching the show because she just wanted to see our reactions towards it. And it was, I enjoyed it. Like the energy, it was just, you can't help but go and watch it and just have a good time,
Yeah.
regardless of whether you like it or not. Just the energy of the show is amazing.
You just get sucked in.
And then when we did it, I'll be honest, I wasn't, when everyone was like, we're going to go and see Academy of Villains at the RIP, I was like, really? I just want to go through houses.
You should have got off by yourself then.
And got sat where we got sat, and then just that show is unreal.
Where did we sit, Lee?
In the friends and family row,
right
behind Crystal Miraz. It was like, holy
I was the
crap.
opposite end.
You still got
Crystal
to
is
meet her.
amazing.
It was just,
she's so great.
yeah. We've watched it. I've watched it 2 or 3 times. I've got a lot of the music tracks on on my phones in my Horror Nights playlist from this year. It's just a phenomenal show.
Yeah. Yeah, last year it was, I don't think they were really used to doing like a sit down stage show.
Yeah.
And that was like really the big thing. And it felt like it, because sitting through it was, I mean, the dancing was good. It just didn't have something there. There wasn't something that was like, it didn't make it worthwhile.
We talked about this last time, how, you got, when you've obviously seen the other shows and you've been there in the front, where when you're standing up there, you feel like you're part of it. And we even discussed before it aired last year, they performed it, how they're going to relate that energy to the crowd. It's very difficult in a large setting like that. And I agree with you. It didn't really feel like that last year.
Right. They definitely figured that out this year.
Oh yeah.
Without a doubt. It's like a combination of coming out into the crowd and doing like the way they
Yes.
did.
Yeah.
I think the music selection was also a big part of it for me, personally, because I was really into it. I'm still going to say the first show ever, like out there on the street, where they had the big stage and they were out on the street at the same time, I thought was the best personally.
Okay.
Because I still felt like I could, like, that whole part of getting into the show yourself and being able to like dance and stuff,
Yeah.
move along with it when it's on there. I think that was a big part of it that I kind of miss. But this is the best that you can do in the sit down environment, and they did a great job.
Yeah, and that's something we can't speak to, obviously, because this is the first time we've seen it. And we haven't even watched videos of the previous ones, which I'll be honest, I actually want to go back and do at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're really good. I honestly even love the one they did when the hurricane came and ruined their stage. It was just like this little 10-minute sideshow. And I honestly, me and Alexa were there like 4 days in a row. We saw it probably every day. Maybe one of the days we saw it twice, just because the music selection, like Darren said, like they would come out in the crowd and dance with you and all this stuff. So it wasn't even like this orchestrated story that they were doing then, but it was just awesome because you had that energy going through there. So there is a big difference between being in the stage outside where you can stand or being inside, a sit down theater. But again, for what they have and what they did this year, they just killed it.
Yeah, I thought it worked perfectly for this year, and a lot of people are talking about Bill and Ted coming back for next year. And for me personally, I'm not a huge fan of the Bill and Ted shows because I've said before, it's very American humor. It kind of goes over our heads a little bit. I would much rather see another Academy of Villains.
Well, we'll find out next year.
Or a hybrid. I'm going for the crossover on that one.
Yeah, a crossover.
Quite possibly. I think I've commented a few times that the two main guys do the Bill and Ted stance at the end with the hand on the chest. So I don't know whether that was...
Maybe it's a nod towards...
Whether it was a nod to just we know what was here previously or a nod to next year. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. So that's one of my favourite memories of the RIP night. There was myself, Nina, Alexa, I can't remember, a couple of other girls, and we came out top of our lungs singing Enter Sandman.
Probably Claire.
Yeah, Claire was one of them.
And probably Zoe.
I can't remember. I just know that we were just basically arms in the air, running on ahead, screaming our lungs off.
You come out of it amped,
we were buzzed, and it was, and that where we ran round that corner, round Amity, if you like, kind of waving at the ghost of Jaws, and it was, that's one of my favourite memories.
It was really good. Like I know I said I was like, for me, RIP2 was all about getting through the houses as much as, and I was like, when everyone was like, I don't want to go and do it. I'm so glad we did. I'm so glad we did, because I think I'd have been annoyed now with myself not doing it. Again, if I'd have gone, I'll meet you in half an hour, I'm going to go and do some other stuff.
Yeah. And again, the seating, I think, just killed us. Like, it was the best seating you can have in the entire theater,
So good.
Oh, man.
So good.
That's what I hate about Horror Nights is, this is it. Like, we've talked about it before, that like we hardly rode anything in the parks this time. But it's all right. We're coming back in February. We can ride Spider-Man a few more times. We can do this. We can do that. You don't do it at Horror Nights in your one trip, and that's it.
Yep. They are gone.
It's gone.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that as well.
I do and I don't.
It's a fleeting moment.
But it's that thing. It's all right when you get to go every year, but when you're like us and you don't, that 1 year when that house, and you're like, you're never going to get to do it.
Tell us how you really feel, Lee.
Use your words.
At the odd time, I remember them announcing American Werewolf in London, and I was so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did it in 25, and it was.
I think it was mistimed.
It was
The runs were
terrible, and we
mistimed
did
going
it like
through.
4 or 5 times, and it was way down my list in the end. That house was very much dependent on timing,
Yeah.
very much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to this year.
Yeah. So moving on from Academy of Villains, I think we need to have a debate after we've talked about the second one of which show we think is the best, because I think they were both unreal this year. So Darren, the second show this year was?
Yeah. The best show of the year was the Marathon of Mayhem Lagoon show. And probably the best show of any theme park ever, forever, period.
Do you know
For me
what? I
personally.
think I agree.
I
Blew me away.
I posted on Twitter tagging a lot of the creative team in it saying, well done, Universal and Halloween Horror Nights. You finally created a show at Universal Orlando that made me cry and still does when I listen to it now. I found myself pulling the Attractions magazine video up on YouTube when I'm at work and listening to it and sitting at work with tears streaming down my face listening to it. It is just so good.
Yeah.
Yep. The music, visuals,
Everything.
the use of the background. I think I mentioned it before, where when you have, the killer clowns come out, they do little hand puppets, and it's displayed on the building behind.
Yes.
And then there was one with like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man coming out, and the lighting in the background making it look like his eyes. Like, it was just really cool.
So well done. I said to Darren, that would come out in one of the shows, I turned on and said to him, I said, how does water make me so emotional?
I remember seeing the original, whatever the lagoon show, like when they used to have those like showery things.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was called.
Oh,
They're like rain curtains type things.
When we came over in 2013 and wanting that to hit me emotionally, because that's what I want from it. Like wishes. I used to stand when we used to go to Disney when I was more of a Disney fan. As soon as that Wishes music came on, that's it. I'm a blubbering mess in the corner. And I've never seen a show at Universal that's done that to me until this.
It was always Illuminations for me. It
Yeah.
was always that got me.
You weren't able to see the actual show that goes in the lagoon, right? You only saw the Marathon of Mayhem?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Because the actual lagoon show is also really good.
February?
Sure it is.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Not as good as this, but it's good.
Yeah.
It was perfect from start to finish. It really was.
It was. And then that remix.
Oh, the Swan Lake.
Swan Lake. Oh my God, I need that so bad. So good. I love Swan Lake. Well, I love that piece of music. And what they did to that was genius.
Just awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, Darren. I think I would choose this. I loved Academy of Villains, but this moved me to tears.
Mm-hmm.
Which I know it's not a mean feat by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, for me, I will normally stand and chat with the people around me, and I was kind of like, no, leave me alone. I need to watch this alone. Don't touch me. Don't talk to me. That's how I was. It was an all-encompassing moment for me.
Yeah.
Going slightly off topic, I know they're doing the cinematic celebration for Christmas. I wonder if they will do a Christmas-themed one.
I think they will.
I think for how popular this was at Horror Nights, they've got to start doing more theme things now.
You're telling me there's probably going to be Grinchmas stuff
Probably.
on the lagoon.
I don't know. Would they do Grinchmas stuff on the lagoon in Universal Studios Florida? But I'm glad they've finally done something like this at Horror Nights. Because they had that 360, the Cinesphere 360, which we never saw.
No.
It looked crap anyway.
It didn't last that long, did
They
it?
finally, and I was surprised actually how little impact I felt that the hard standing that they've built for the show impacted that area. Because when they were doing it, we were like, oh my God, I can't believe they're pulling up Central Park and making it all like railings and stuff. And it still kind of felt like Central Park.
It did. See, to me, it was going to be more like bleachers. And it isn't.
The only annoying thing was where the big speaker stands were. If you got in the wrong spot,
yeah.
like right there, blocking your view.
But they've got to put them somewhere.
Yeah, it was awesome. I think agreed. It's probably the best theme park show I've seen.
Yeah. And it helps that we saw it with some pretty cool people.
Just a couple.
Just a couple.
Well, we did 2 huge group viewings of it both times we saw it. Did we only see it twice?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Did we?
Yeah, I think we did the weekend group on Saturday night, didn't we? And then the RIP tour on Sunday night.
Was it Zoe had researched the best place to stand?
No, I did.
You did?
I got told by
look like
someone
Zoe.
of where. I look like Zoe.
No,
Zoe, please don't listen to that.
I actually thought that where we stood the first time was better than the RIP viewing. For me personally, I thought.
Yeah, we've had this conversation.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I can't even remember.
But I mean, it was really cool to be able to do a house 10 minutes before and then walk right into the show.
Yes.
And have your own little private spot.
Yes.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Oh, yes.
And mini pumpkin donuts also makes the show a lot better. So
Yeah. Well, speaking of food, Tracy.
Yes. I want to talk about food.
Well, you'll have to because I didn't have anything, so...
No, well, the staple pizza fries were there, which we didn't try, along with s'mores fries, which we didn't try. There was the bento box. Ah, yes, that was the best thing. And the mini pumpkin donuts. They were amazing. Perfect after a bento box. And more. What else was there?
Don't know, that's all we... The s'mores fries.
No,
I
that's
put
the
the s'mores
list.
fries in there, did I? I have no
s'mores
idea.
fries. Eh.
Darren's favorite.
Did you have them?
Yes. The s'mores fries? We
Yeah.
had them. Ugh. Gross.
So there's a few things, but then again, it was all just... You could get like the bao buns.
We wanted the popcorn box, didn't we?
Street corn.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I wanted that.
Yeah. Then they had other stuff at that stand too that was like Mexican stuff, but I don't remember what it was.
See, my only taste
Yeah.
was like, I think I had one of your wontons. Alexa forced a pot sticker into me.
Yeah,
She was like, take one. It's like, no, you're all right. No, have one. Okay.
They were good. Yeah, no, I was very nice and shared a bit of bao bun with you. Begrudged every bite of that.
Oh, it's like, I would eat that right now.
I love bao
I
buns.
need to sort my stomach out for coming to Florida. I was gutted.
Look, you rule your stomach, not the other way around. Just say you're eating.
Yeah, but then it might come back up later.
At least you've eaten it, though.
What a wasted $14.
What's coming out
That's
one end or the other? Do you say
I'm
that?
going to force some pizza fries down your throat next time, Lee.
Pardon? Say that again, because I know what I just heard, and it kind of cut out a little bit. But just repeat that for me a second.
I want you to go on the first one I said.
No, what did you say?
I'm going to force some pizza fries down your throat.
You see, it kind of cut out, and what I heard was, I'm going to force some meat down your throat.
Same thing I heard. I'm sure the recording will reflect.
And after early with, oh, it is a long one. Wow.
But
Take your pick, Lee.
I don't want either. Those donuts were good. Thank you, Chris,
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
for sharing. Because Tracy wouldn't have done the sheet bottom.
I'd let you smell them.
Yeah, we didn't really
Don't
have...
you tell lies. I shared a bloody bao bun with you.
We had the crappy drinks, and our good friend Andy bought
Actually,
us the Horror Nights. And Darren, you are completely
Vampire's
correct.
Curse
Oh
was
my
good.
God, there was more alcohol in my the next morning.
So guess what next year's signature drink is? Lee's.
Like, they just need to employ Chris at this point.
Yeah. Well, definitely.
Everybody
I'll
be
send my
dead.
But if they employ Chris, though, it's going to be a much different event than the one.
But it's like,
Yeah.
we got the Vampire's
Yeah,
Curse.
the event.
That was I
Yeah.
like that one. And there was the watermelon one. I can't
Yeah.
remember what it's called.
What was the first? That was the one we
watermelon.
got.
First
Oh, no,
was the watermelon one.
Right. So we got whatever that was called. Andy bought us it at the stand going into Kid Zone. So we headed into Monsters, and we got the Blinky cups with it. And the line for Monsters was that short that we were only halfway through them by the time we got to the front of the line. So like, oh, you can't take them and you'll have to step to the side and finish them. And we literally chugged half of this. And I was like, if I'd have chugged anything with remotely any alcohol in it, my head would have been spinning. And I was just like,
it tasted good.
Was there any alcohol in that at all? For $14.
Yeah.
All I says, I'm glad I didn't pay for it. And then $10 refills on top of that. No thanks.
Thank you, Holly, for buying me a refill. That's when I got my Vampire's Kiss. That was nice, actually.
Just ridiculous.
And it had more alcohol. Well, we didn't have a lot of alcohol while we were there either. Very disappointed. Well, actually,
Chris's one.
Actually, I was going to say, I think Chris kind of did just give me my alcohol quota.
You made up for it in the last 3 days as well, mind. You had that beer in Hogsmeade and the flight in NBC. And you must have had a beer in Big Fire, did you? What did you have in Big Fire?
Yeah, I had a beer. And I tasted the old-fashioned. And I want an old-fashioned now. And I did have the jack-o'-lantern.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so sorry, people.
You keep saying that.
I know, but it didn't work. It was a waste of fire whiskey. Now, I worked out what the problem was. Don't put ice in pumpkin juice. Completely alters it.
I don't think the problem's the pumpkin juice. It's the
it's the ice, not the pumpkin juice.
Yeah, no, it's pumpkin juice.
No,
ice is fine.
No.
Just fill your cup with ice instead, and then whiskey, and then you're good.
They've said about you see, that's the thing about ice. You have whiskey on the rocks.
We're supposed to be talking about horror meat,
You have vodka on the rocks. All these drinks with ice in, and all I keep saying is these drinks cause liver and kidney damage. What's the thing they've all got in common? Ice.
It's not the ice.
It's the ice.
Yeah. It's gotta be.
It has to be.
Have it without the ice. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
They're all made with some kind of amount of water too, so that might have something to do with it.
Yeah.
Moving back onto horror night.
Sorry. It's a public service announcement.
As an event overall this year, I think overall, it's probably the best event we've been to.
Yes.
What?
We've only been to 3.
25 was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
But
No, but
I think the difference...
There's a big difference for me. I didn't have children to watch.
Yes.
So I could fully relax.
I think the difference was even the bad houses at this year were all right.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel the bad houses at 25 were terrible.
I'll be honest, I don't remember that far back.
The Purge.
Purge was awesome.
Purge was terrible.
Awesome.
Oh,
you had a lot of good things to say about it after you went.
I didn't. I said it was terrible at the time.
No, you loved it.
No.
It
had one thing in it. It had one thing in it that was worth. And that was the Stooge.
The plants.
Oh, yeah.
The Walking Dead was just horrendous.
Yeah.
Was that the jail one that year?
No, it was the ones in little baby paddling pools.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, water zombies.
And then, to be honest, American Werewolf let me down.
That was bad just because we had bad runs through it.
But you should be able to go through a house 4 times and get a decent run at least once. Or at least a half-decent run, and I didn't.
I don't know. I still say overall that year was still the best.
Next year is going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
Because, again, looking at the dates, we have the potential. I was gutted. So we fly home on the last day. So when they announced the date, so I was like, yes, we're going to get to go last night. And I went, oh, shit, that's the day we fly home. So I actually got in touch with Virgin and went, how much would it be to extend our stay by a day? And let's translate this into American. It was just short of $1,000. And I was like, okay, then, thanks very much. I don't think I'll bother.
April 31st?
So we'd have flown back on the Sunday rather than the Saturday. Would have cost us $1,000 extra for one day.
That's a whole holiday.
Crazy.
Not there, but it's a whole holiday.
Yeah.
But I think we potentially could go 6 nights. Saturday. So comparing it to this year, we arrive on the Saturday. We do Saturday, Sunday. It's not on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We do 6 nights.
Wow. Hope we don't want to do anything else.
You don't get to do Halloween Horror Nights 30
I'm kidding.
every year.
No.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But it was an awesome year.
4
this
nights
year.
nearly killed me.
It didn't me actually.
Oh,
Oh, my
Good
feet
for
were
you.
dead.
my feet were good. My back,
Yeah,
this
mine
trip,
too.
my back was crippling me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't know. Must be getting old or something.
yeah, they're pretty good this season. Gotta say.
You consider how much walking we did. Like I remember
Yeah.
coming back from 2013 going, I can't do theme parks like I used to be able to do theme parks. And we theme parked the out of this trip.
Yeah, we
and I
did.
felt all right.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were on the go from 8 o'clock,
Oh.
7, 8 o'clock in the morning till we didn't get back into our hotel room after the RIP tour till 3 a.m.
Yeah. And then I studied for 40 minutes. What was I thinking?
Yeah.
So,
Lee's sound asleep next to me and I'm studying.
any final thoughts, anyone?
Yeah, I'm excited for next year.
Yep. I have some absolutely awesome memories.
Yeah.
And it was the entire holiday.
I think that's
was
the thing for us. That's
amazing.
the thing for us,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's the amount of people we hung out with is always gonna just epic.
That's it. You could turn around and have a different conversation every 10 minutes. It was just, wow.
I was gonna say like this year, I don't know if it was my favorite year, but also because the people I was with
Yeah.
too. Like
Yeah.
just being able to do that, like you said, talking to everybody, hanging out with you guys. It was honestly, I think I said it was one of the best years we ever did.
Yeah.
Ever.
That's it. Catching up with old friends
I
and
don't know if it's the
making
house
new friends. It
Or
was
just
just,
you guys.
Yeah, I think it's probably a combination of both.
yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think you can separate the two really.
No, they're intrinsically linked.
Just like your ride through Fast and Furious.
Exactly. It's funny. You know, you actually said it. I nearly did. You're right. I think it is the same thing.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. So that's going to wrap up our coverage of Halloween Horror Nights 29 this year. I hope you've enjoyed it. We all did. It was an awesome year. I cannot wait to see what they come up with next year. So we will wrap up, as we always do every week, with another Universal Is, and this one comes from our dear blogger, Janine Pipe. And if you want to be involved, send us what you think Universal is in 3 words or less to podcast@uuopodcast.com. And Janine doesn't mean this the way I think a lot of us are going to read this. Janine says the Universal is not like Disney. See you next week.
Cut, print, that's a wrap for another episode of the Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Never miss a show by subscribing on Apple Podcasts and leave us a rating and review while you're there. Not an Apple user? You can listen on Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, or your podcatcher of choice. Email us any questions or comments to podcast@uuopodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, YouTube, Instagram, and Pinterest. Just search UUO Podcast. Keep up with the latest news, rumors, and updates on our blog at uuopodcast.com. Thanks for listening. See you next week.